Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Michael J. Next here, and today marks 70 years to the day that Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama, which kicked off the Montgomery bus boycott. To commemorate the 70th anniversary, I'm going to be doing a deep dive behind the boycott. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, picture this. Thursday, December 1st, 1955, a cold afternoon in Montgomery, Alabama. A 42-year-old black woman named Rosa Parks, a seamstress, is just leaving work and she's taking the bus home. The bus gets here and she takes a seat towards the middle, which is fine for black to sit because remember, in those days, the front of the bus was reserved for white people and then black people had to take the back. Even to the point where black people had to use the back door on the back of the bus just to take a seat. Wow. Yeah, she takes the middle seat, but the bus got too crowded and the white people didn't have anywhere to sit. The black people would have to move to the back. So she takes a seat, black man next to her, and two black women sitting in the seat across from them. But then the one white man was left standing, and then the bus driver tells people in her row to move to the back. His exact words were, "Let me have those seats." Nobody does anything. Then he says, "Y'all better make it lie on yourselves and let me have those seats." Swear everybody in Rosa's row except her gets up. They all move to the back. But now she sits down. Now the drivers question her, talking about, "Why won't you move?" Because I don't think I should have to. I'm talking from Rosa's perspective right now. She's like, "I don't think I should have to." There's all this back and forth. And then he ends up saying, "You need to move or I'm going to call the police and have you arrested." She's like, "I don't care. Go ahead and call him. Go ahead and do so." And her exact words were, "You may do that." And then he finds a phone and then calls the operator because in the 50s they didn't have 911 yet, so they had to call something else. A few minutes later, the police end up showing up, and the bus driver demands she get arrested. And of course, the officers will side with him, and they're like, "Lady, you need to move." She's like, "Why do you keep pushing us around?" Talking about black people as a whole. And they don't take it seriously. They're like, "I don't know, but the law's the law. You're under arrest." And then she ends up getting arrested. Now, she spent the night in jail. I believe she either got out that same night or the next morning. And this was like the biggest news story in Montgomery at the time. Like a black woman who was actually a part of the NAACP, an NAACP member getting arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on a crowded bus. Big story. And that's where they come up to do the bus boycott. That was going to start from the next Monday, December the 5th. And it was going to last until until the public official decided that segregated on buses wasn't going to be allowed no more. Because that next following week was going to be when Rosa was going to have to appear in court for the charges. So they started the boycott to coincide with that. And for the whole boycott, that meant no black person in the city of Montgomery was going to ride the bus. Alongside the NAACP, leading this protest, was a young Martin Luther King who was staying in Montgomery, Alabama, and was a becoming activist. And it worked, because starting December 5th, 1955, all the way to December 20th, 1956, no black person in the city of Montgomery rode any buses. But Rosa wasn't the first person to be arrested for refusing to give up her seat. 9 months earlier, on March 2nd, also in Montgomery, a 15-year-old teenager named Claudette Colvin, a black teenager coming home from school, was arrested for the same offense. She refused to give up her seat to a white lady, and the police ended up dragging her and manhandling off the bus. Man, this was a 15-year-old girl, and she was pregnant at the time, and that was the big reason for the NAACP to not use her as the symbol for the movement because she was only 15 and pregnant, while they preferred to use Rosa as she was part of their group. and was an older and more mature person. On December 20th, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. On April 19th, a month after Claudette was arrested, and 8 months before Rosa would be arrested, 36-year-old Aurelia Browder would be arrested for the same offense. And now here's a 2-for-1. On October 21st, 2 months before Rosa would be arrested, 18-year-old Mary Louise Smith would be arrested for, yet again, refusing to give up her seat to a white person. And around this time, a 77-year-old woman named Susie McDonald would also be arrested, but the exact date of her arrest isn't 100% clear. These 4 women would be the main plaintiffs of the 1956 case Browder versus Gale. And on June 5th, bus segregation was ruled unconstitutional under the Equal Protection Clause in the 14th Amendment. When Rosa was asked why she refused to give up her seat, she said she thought about Emmett Till, who, if you remember, just 4 months earlier in the nearby state of Mississippi, 14-year-old Emmett Till, a black teenager from Chicago, was lynched in Mississippi after being accused of flirting with a white woman in a store. She said she thought about him as these would be the 2 biggest cases of the year for black people. And she also dismissed rumors claiming that she was tired, and that the only tired she was tired of giving in. Yeah. Preach, Rosa, preach. Rosa dedicated the rest of her life for fighting for equal rights for black people, and she would continue to be with NAACP until she retired in 1988. In 1999, she was given the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor, and she died in 2005 at the age of 92. Well, that was my video for the Montgomery bus boycott and the 70th anniversary of Rosa Parks' arrest. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you can always be notified when I post a new video. It's a free way to help me out and to get my channel out there. Well, that's the end of the video. Deuces.